Hello, princesses, and welcome back to Not Fit for Print Beauty with me, Rebecca. It's gonna be that holiday time pretty soon in retail because we have the brand new Hourglass palettes for the season. I have got them all here. We are gonna look at them, compare them a little, swatch them, and talk about them and do some explaining. These are, down here on my table, the brand new Hourglass Ambient Lighting Edit Unlocked palette. There are 4 choices in cover art, but 3 palettes, and I will explain. They are $90 each. We have the Jellyfish, the Leopard, and the Snake here. That's what I ordered. There was also an empty palette with an owl on it, which I think is crazy cool. I love owls. And you can fill that with any of these. In fact, and this is where it gets a little confusing, so stay with me here. Hourglass has decided what goes in the Jellyfish, the Leopard, and the Snake. But if you want, you can put the Jellyfish palette into the Leopard palette. You can put the Snake into the Jellyfish. You can put any of the 3 into the Owl. Does that make sense? But what I have done, just to try to keep us all on an even keel and keep it from getting confusing, I didn't get the Owl. What I just did was I got the Jellyfish as Hourglass curated it, the Leopard as Hourglass curated it, and the Snake as Hourglass curated it, just to keep us all straight. But please know, you can't change individual shades, but the 6 shades as a whole, you can go ahead and stick in another cover and customize it on the Hourglass site. Eventually, when these go over to like Sephora and such, I don't think you'll be able to do that. But on the Hourglass site, you can, and I do have that linked below. I have an Hourglass code, Rebecca, but I don't think it's working on these yet. But if you're picking up other stuff at Hourglass while you're there, such as this Hourglass skin tint that I'm wearing now and such, my code, Rebecca, will get you a discount on those. Not these just yet. It's coming though. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about this. We know that Hourglass has been a fierce supporter of the Non-Human Rights Project, which is a nonprofit organization that fights for the rights of animals who cannot speak for themselves. 5% of these profits from the Unlocked collection go to support the Non-Human Rights Project. This is not new for Hourglass. Hourglass has done this before. This is not new. A lot of people were saying it was new or, you know, whatever. No, this is not. They've done this before. Every single one of these palettes, and we're going to look at them all, has a bronzer, which was a complaint last year around the holidays with the butterfly and tiger and those palettes. All of these will have a bronzer, and the packaging is limited edition by a London freelance artist named Katie Scott. She does a lot of kind of corporate art and has worked for a lot of big companies, including like the BBC and a lot of really huge companies. She is a fairly famed illustrator and does beautiful work. So she's done that. They call this their photoluminescence that are in all of these palettes. They say they have a technology that diffuses light and makes the skin appear lit from within. And those of you who are huge Hourglass fans will certainly agree with that. For sure. There is also, by the way, just FYI, I didn't pick it up, but there is there's an ambient lighting brush, but there's also a Veil travel powder brush for $54. It's got the cool snake on it, design on it, and you can go ahead and pick that up if you want. These are vegan and cruelty-free. Hourglass is very, very intent and focused on being cruelty-free, but the palettes are a pretty penny. Each one is $90 each, and do remember that you can go back and forth with the cover art that you choose. Okay, so as we set the ground rules here, I am sticking to the palettes the way they curated them. Mix and match as you choose. I'm rolling up my sleeves because we've got some work to do. For those of you that need to skim and see swatches and see this and see that, I'm putting everything, time-stamping it, okay? Because some people have places to be. All right, let's talk first about the Ambient Lighting Edit Unlocked Jellyfish. If you're seeing weird plasticky, there is a little plastic cover on here that I think I'm just going to keep on. It makes it continually feel new. This has 6 shades. They all do. We're going to look at them all, but we have 6 shades here. Let me just first show you what we got here, and I'll show you what the new ones are. We have From this order, we have our ambient lighting powder. It's called Diffuse Light. It is a pale, kind of a warm pale yellow. This is not new. Brand new right here in the middle, right here, Rose Fusion. This is a cool mauve blush. It is brand new. Over here on this side we have, right here, we have, I love this shade, we have our Ambient Metallic Strobe Lighting Powder. It is new. It is called Opal Strobe Light, and it is a pale rose gold. It is brand new, and it is a super cool highlighter. Down here on the bottom is our last new shade, and that is the Ambient Lighting Bronzer. This is called Lunar Bronze. It is a matte warm bronze. I will try it on. You will see it swatched. Then we have two shades that are returning. This is the Diffused Heat blush. It's kind of a vibrant poppy shade. And our Ethereal Light, kind of a cool translucent powder. That also is a repeat. So we have 3 brand new shades of blush, bronzer, and highlighter. And the rest you might recognize depending on how much of a collector you are. Here is the Jellyfish palette first in Studio Lighting. Take a look at it there in Studio Light. We will be trying out this palette in a moment. And then we have it here outside in the warm California sunshine. This is, if we need to simplify it, the lightest of the 3 palettes that may or may not work the best for you if you have fair to light medium skin. I do say throughout this video that in a way I am kind of lucky because I have light, medium, neutral skin, and depending on whether I use a light or heavy hand, I can get away with a lot of these. Some of you will have to pick and choose a little bit better depending on your skin tone. All right, let's talk now about our Leopard. Our Leopard has 6 shades, 5 of which are repeats. So let me just right away show you the brand new one because I know you'll be curious, and it's pretty. I'm wearing it right now, but you'll see it in the demo. The brand new shade in this Leopard palette as they curate it is this one right here that I have my finger on. This is Ethereal Flush. It's a soft peach ambient lighting blush, and it is brand new. The shades up here, which we have our dim light powder, metallic strobe, the celestial strobe light powder is really famous, and our ambient lighting blush, mood exposure, you've seen that up here before. We have a bronzer that is not new, and a blush here that is not new. The iridescent rose is also not new, but might be new to you. I'm actually wearing this palette right now. I love it, but 5 of the shades are repeats. And let's take a look at the Leopard palette first in Studio Lighting. Take a look there. And then where you can see it even better, look at this one in the warm California sunshine. It really is quite beautiful, but only 1 new shade. Now, a lot of people will be very interested in our last of the 3 sets, and that is the Snake as Hourglass curates it. Remember, you can change if you want to. This will work best with a light hand or a deep skin tone. It has 5 new shades. Wow, 5 new shades. So the ambient lighting powder right here, this is the Radiant Light, kind of a golden beige lighting powder, is our only repeat. The other 5 are new, so let's go through what they are. We have our new Coral Haze pink coral shade of blush. Don't worry, I'll swatch it. We have our new Infinite Strobe Light, kind of a warm gold powder. It's beautiful. Strobe powder. We have a new Sunbeam. It's kind of a rich peach blush right here. We'll try that on. We have our Ambient Strobe Lighting Blush. This is new. It's called Mystic Flush. Kind of a mid-tone pinky coral. And a brand new bronzer called Solar Bronze, which is a very rich bronze. And yeah, I'm going to use it, but I got to use a light hand when I do. These are beautiful shades, just beautiful. And this one a lot of people will grab for, and they're pretty on the eyes as well. Let's take a look at these swatches first in Studio Lighting. Take a look at them here. Aren't they pretty? And this one, wait till you see this one outside. Wait till you see it in the warm California sunshine. Absolutely gorgeous, and 5 new shades. Hey, if you have super fair skin, you'd have to use a lot of them on eyes, I suppose. And if you have deep skin, then you can take a look there too if you have a deeper skin tone and see if that would work for you. And you know, we got to discuss all of that down below as well. Oftentimes, and we had this last year, there was a lot of talk about why would they put this blush in with this one? They're trying to be a little bit more consistent with lighter skin tone, medium skin tone, deeper skin tone. I can tell with these palettes, but some of you might feel the mark was missed. I don't know. Remember 2 things here. Number 1, You could take any set and put it in another cover. I know I keep saying that, but if you do that on the Hourglass website, you can do that. Number 2, we're going to go now to the demo. I'm going to show you all of them. A lot of these are kind of just like face swatches. You know, if there's 3 new blushes, I'm going to show you all of them, and I don't have 3 cheeks. So bear with me. This is not supposed to be an application tutorial. You guys do know how to put on blush. I am just going to show you how these work just so you can kind of see. They are all linked below, and you can check out the Hourglass website and see that beautiful owl cover, which I wish I got, but I wanted to try to just make this a little less confusing. But I'm available for questions, of course. Hey, let's go to the demos. Okay, we're going to start by playing with the Jellyfish here, or the shades that Hourglass puts in the Jellyfish. You can change the cover if you would like to, but I'm just trying to keep it simple. Let's go ahead and start. We got some, I want to make sure I use all the new shades. I would really like to use all of the shades, but we got a new blush and a new lighting powder, and a new bronzer. Let's start with the bronzer, shall we? And I'm just going to kind of bronzer with it. This is by far the lightest of all the palettes, and there will be people who say that they find maybe the bronzer the lightest, but some of the blushes not. You know, we can all take issue, but for the most part, barring any technicalities, this is the lightest, so I could just go real easy like that and warm up my face with Sonia G. I think this is a Niji, right? Yeah, the Niji Pro. Right there to warm up my face. And I got some Wayne Goss brushes. This is a Wayne Goss number 2. It's a free-for-all here. So that is a brand new shade, that bronzer. We've got a strobe that's new. Let's do this new blush right here. And this one is called Rose Fusion. It's kind of a cool mauve blush. Let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to do one look with each palette. Again, neutral, light, medium skin tone, kind of lucky. Some people will, well, I don't know if you call it lucky. Spend my money here, but some people will need one palette or another. Okay, going to overdo this new shade just so you can see it well. So please pardon the overdone cheeks. Just want to give you an idea. This would be lovely on eyes as well, but I'm changing a lot, so let's not do that. And then we have a strobe. I'm going to switch right now to a Wayne Goss number 11, and let's get in that new opal strobe, which is kind of a pale rose gold strobe shade, also brand new. Ooh, that's pretty. I'm using a really fluffy brush because I didn't want to be too glowy, but I actually think I might change and do something a little bit more dense just so you guys can see it a little better. That's pretty. You know, a kind of rosy highlighter is not the usual, right? We do get champagne highlighters. My goodness, we've seen blue and purple highlighters. But this kind of a rosy champagne highlighter is different and pretty. I overdid it a little bit, but I wanted you guys to see it. We have another blush, this kind of vibrant poppy blush, which I'll just kind of put on a little bit here, just on the bottom. This is not really where I would normally apply blush. Please forgive me. I just want you to kind of see what it looks like. Really overdone. The placement is a bit off. I'm just showing you color. That's this one. It's not a new color. This is the Vibrant Poppy, the Diffused Heat shade. Not new. We've got a cool translucent shade, and we've got a kind of warm translucent shade. And I'm just going to try, neither of these are new, and I'm going to try just a little bit underneath the eyes with it, on the warm, and then the cool around the nose. Just to powder, that's where I generally powder. Again, in this palette, our new shades are this brand new blush. It's called Rose Fusion right here. That is the majority of the blush. Then I did this new opal strobe here. That's that pale rose gold on the cheeks, and you're seeing that right here. And then the ambient lighting, this bronzer right here is called Lunar Bronze, and it's kind of a matte, warm bronzer, which is what you really want from your bronzers. The other shades you might have in other palettes, but I did put the blush pretty prominently on a strange little area of my face, but I wanted you to see it. It is not on this side, and that is Hourglass Jellyfish played with just a little bit. Any of those blushes could go onto the eyes if you wanted them to. Let's get this off and jump right in to our next one, which is Leopard. Stay with me. Moving along to Leopard. This is going to sell the best to those who don't really collect Hourglass, so to speak. Only one new shade. Nothing wrong with that. They might all be new to you. This soft peach shade right here is called Ethereal Flush, and it is the only new one in the palette. So let's put it on first, but we'll do a look with all of it. You might say, oh, Rebecca, I don't have those. Okay, and I will overdo it a little bit. This is a powerful blush. This is also the kind of, I want to say, because it makes it so simple to just say this is for the medium skin tones. It's not going to be that simple because, you know, there's people that are going to say this one blush is darker than another, etc., etc. But to make it easy, and I know I've overdone this, sorry about it, but to make it easy, this is the one that's best for kind of medium or in between skin tones. And me being a kind of light, medium, neutral, I can pull it off, although normally not this dark. Okay. Put a little bit. That is the new shade, and I really wanted to showcase that. And yes, I have overdone it and look like I have just run a mile, but at least you can tell the shade. Really pretty peachy shade. It's almost like this is such a different and such a departure shade that a lot of people don't have from any brand, that they stuck it in, what do you know, with, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but it's in with the shades that are mostly repeats. This is a pretty shade. Okay, so let's just do a little bit more with the shades that we've maybe seen before. I got a mix of brushes here on the table so that I'm always using clean brushes for all of these shades. Here's a number 4 from Refer. Let's get into some of these. We got Mood Exposure, that soft plum blush. We've seen that a bunch of times, you guys. I'll put on a little bit if you want me to. But I have let's do our strobe powder. This is Celestial Strobe. Hey, Celeste out there. This one must be for you. Celestial Strobe. We have a few Celestes, but one in particular who is a member of this community. And this has definitely been seen before, and it's a favorite. And I don't mind having another one. This blush alone, you guys, it's really, really good. And then we have our bronzer. So let's go ahead and use our bronzer. This is the Ambient Lighting Bronzer. And I brought my fluffiest bronzer brush because I do not know any restraint with bronzer. And this one can go getting a little bit dark on me. Not that I care. Not that I have ever cared. And you know, let me just show you with this palette. I won't even take it off for the next. I'm just going to take some of that bronzer, even though that's a repeat shade. I'm just going to show you by putting it into the crease of the eye here. I'm just doing a quick look with this palette. I just wanted you to just kind of see that. I could take some of that strobe. We have some, oh gosh, we got some of that strobe in the center of the eye there, and maybe onto the, you know, we could do a lot of really fun things. And though I don't suggest going out with your cheeks this darkly done, I did want to, or this strobe, I did want to give you an idea of the new shade in there and the others. I also did say, didn't I, that I would show you this iridescent rose, warm rose shade of blush. So be prepared to go, oh, Rebecca, let me just stick it right here. Again, not a spot for your blush. I do not recommend that. Let me just show you what it looks like real quick. Just a little face swatch basically for you. There's a really, really obvious version of the brand new. And there's face blush. Pretty good. Okay, face swatch. All right, now let's make way for the darkest of the 3 palettes, the Snake palette. Stay right there. Okay, the Snake palette has 5 new shades. The only repeat shade is this one right up top. Make sure I'm pointing at the right one. Right up top, the Radiant Light Golden Beige Ambient Lighting Powder. That is the only one that you may have seen before, depending on how much you collect. So all the rest are brand new. And I'm going to take out this little bronzing brush from Sonia G, brand newly used today. Not dirty. And we're going to first start into this ambient lighting bronzer. It's called Solar Bronze and it's brand new. And it is, for my skin tone, fairly deep. So I'm just kind of, you know, let's cross our fingers here. Yeah, I really brushed it off my brush, but it should really give my face a nice warmth, and too nice of a warmth if I'm not careful. So again, depending upon your skin tone, if you love this palette, you might have to use this only on the eyes, or it might be a perfect bronzer. As you see with my light, medium, neutral, though it's a little too dark there on the forehead, I can see already in the viewfinder, it does work. I just have to be a little bit careful. I'm not going for a look here, you guys, so much as just a demonstration of the shades, so I'm not too worried about that, but you can see that went dark pretty quickly. Kind of don't mind it. But this would be actually really pretty. I'm dipping into it down here. This one would be really pretty in the eye. Look at that. So if you have a more fair complexion, wow, I mean that you can see that on there. That's a super pretty kind of matte, warm transition shade right there. I mean, we have enough matte palettes that have been released recently, but that still would be a very pretty matte transition shade. Okay, let's move on here. We have 3 new blushes and 2 cheeks. So I'll put one on each, and then I'll do maybe a little face swatch. I know it's a little silly, but you know, just to give you the idea. Let's start with a number 37 from Refer, and let's get into this first new blush, which is right here, and it is called Coral Haze. It's a pink coral shade, and it is brand new. So let me just kind of overdo it right here. Isn't that pretty? And yes, overdoing, but that's okay. Want you to see that. Let me do a little more. Okay, let's switch brushes so we have a nice clean brush to a Wayne Goss number 12, and let's do our other new, well, we have 3 actually new blushes, and this one is right here. This is the new Sunbeam. It's kind of a rich peach shade, and it is brand new as well, and we'll do that on the other cheek. Also overdone. Woo! Sorry, hope I didn't scare you. Did your cat scream on that? Okay. Oh, wow. And that's got that nice, almost like I don't have to put a highlighter right there. Wow. Pretty. Okay, and then we also have a third blush, which is this ambient strobe lighting blush called Mystic Flush, which is like a mid-tone pink coral. Switching brushes again to a Wayne Goss number 1, and this will put in, you know, sorry. We'll just put this right here. Please do not wear your blush here. I mean, do whatever you want, but generally it's not what I would advise. Just call it a face swatch so that we have 1, 2, 3 new blushes from the snake palette, the way Hourglass configures it. You can put it in a different, there we go. Okay, very, very, very pretty. Let's get some, we got the bronzer on already. We tried all 3 of the blushes. Let's do a new lighting powder. We got an Infinite Strobe Light, and that's a warm gold shade, and that will be the 3rd shade on the top, and this will be kind of the deepest shade of highlight, and I'll put it right here. Let me just put it down the nose, just so you can see it. You did see it swatched, but let me just put it there, and it's definitely, for me, probably an eye shade. I mean, that's deep for my skin tone. I can get away with this, you guys. I'm a light, medium, neutral. I could do it. I would not do it this intensely on my face. It's going to be pretty on the eyes. Let me tell you, that'll be beautiful on my eyes. But, you know, on my face, I just got to be a little bit careful. On the eyes, it's really a golden shade. If you like a golden highlighter, it's really a golden shade. And you can see it now on my eyelids and there on the cheeks. But this is a very rich, very deep, the deepest palette they have. Obviously, I have to go fix myself up a little bit and make this a little less. Okay, since I was doing face swatches, I've cleaned up my face a little bit. And which palette am I really pretty much wearing all of? Yeah, there might be little bits of the others left on there. But for the most part, believe it or not, I'm wearing the Leopard, which has 5 repeats, but it works really well on my skin tone. I did say, and it's true, I'm kind of lucky in that I could wear any of them. I can use a heavier hand here, which is my want, lighter hand here, and, you know, Goldilocks right in between on this one. And certainly if you don't have a lot of Hourglass shades, this is all new to you. I have the other 5, but I do like the convenience of them here. And do remember that you can switch around the covers and the cases online. We just went with these because it was simple. I think these are absolutely beautiful. They are indeed pricey. And now the commentary will begin of people saying, why is this blush and this one and not this one with this one? And I'm here for it. You're welcome to put it in our comment section. It's what makes us a community, and we can certainly chat about it to our hearts and your heart's content down there. So make sure that you do that. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I sure hope that you did. Everything is linked down below for purchase. I do have an Hourglass. If you're buying anything else with Hourglass, you can use code Rebecca at checkout and you do get a percentage off, but I don't think the code's working on these brand new, of course, not yet anyway, but it will. So I listed that down below too. I do have a code later for these, but anything else you're picking up, you can use my code and that will help certainly. If you haven't already done so, make sure that you subscribe to this channel. It does help. I know that they'll recommend videos from creators you've already seen, but it helps propel my channel a little higher if you just click subscribe, if you will. I consider it a favor and I appreciate it very, very much. Come over and say a big hello on Instagram, TikTok, and on Threads. And don't forget that you can become a bigger part of this YouTube community by becoming a channel member. It is $4.99 a month and it's through YouTube. Down below you can click to become a member, or you can shop from the links below or give super thanks. Really though, in any way that you choose to be here, I just want you guys to know I appreciate you all very, very much, and I look forward to seeing everyone in the next video. Bye-bye.